Right now, we're under a weather impact alert. This is a look at one of our cameras from the town of Abbey, just looking east towards Fort Morgan, where the storms are just starting to fire up anytime now. Although they're firing up everywhere. You can feel it. The air is thick right now. Thanks for joining us at 4 o'clock. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Phil Lipoff. Because of that, we want to get straight over to senior weather impact meteorologist Chris Bianchi. And Chris, you're already tracking some storms right now in really severe weather. What do you have?
Yeah, so first of all, we do have a weather impact alert through at least 6:30. That's for that large hail potential. And to your point here, Phil, we are already seeing some of those strong storms. By the way, a new tornado watch just issued. It does not include Denver, but areas just to the north and east of Denver included within this tornado watch until 11 p.m. tonight. We're going to have a probability for seeing some land-spout tornadoes just to the north of the airport over the next hour or so. Southern Colorado severe thunderstorm watch. Now, watch means conditions favorable. Northeast Colorado and yet again, Fort Morgan, another major hailstorm bearing down on the city of Fort Morgan right now. Yesterday, as you just heard, it was Wiggins that got hit very hard about 10 miles west of Fort Morgan. But it looks like this significant hailstorm heading right for town right now. Here's the track, the hail track, and if you kind of make that out, look at where it's headed next. Fort Morgan and I-76. Nobody should be on I-76 between Brush and Wiggins right now. Get off the interstate. If you know somebody who might be traveling in the area, might be a good idea to give them a call. Wouldn't text them. I'd give them a call and just let them know that a significant hailstorm heading right for I-76 in Fort Morgan. Now, if you're watching me from Fort Morgan, now's the time to get those cars in the garages and the carports if you have access to one. Starting to see a few showers trying to bubble on up here along the Palmer Divide. Nothing really doing yet in that area, but as we head over the next few hours, storms will continue to fire on up. Denver area, I think it's going to be mostly this evening that we see showers and storms. The highest severe weather risk will stay north and east of Denver, but there's a chance for some hail and also some strong winds and even some flash flooding in the Denver metro area later on this afternoon and this evening. We'll have more details on that as it gets a bit closer. But I want to set things over to my colleague, meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen, who's right near Denver International Airport. Corey, I mentioned that there's a possibility here for land-spout tornadoes out by the airport over the next hour or so. What are you seeing there, and what are you seeing in terms of that storm development?
Yeah, well, first of all, we saw that first storm go up very quickly, so the storms have potential to rise very quickly. It turned from a generic storm to a severe thunderstorm there in Morgan County there really quickly. But I'm along that convergence zone that you were talking about. A convergence zone is when the winds are coming in opposite directions and they form a line of collision, and right there you get these spinning little vortices of air, and if a thunderstorm should happen to come over and pull one of those spinning columns of air up into the storm, you get what's called a land-spout tornado. So that's what we're watching from right here. This is Denver International Airport right here to my left. You can see the incoming planes coming in to land out of the southeast, and there's a line of convergence that goes from here, from DIA, all the way to that storm in Morgan County. And in between there, we'll watch for about the next 30 to 40 minutes in that initial development where it could pull up some of those little spinning columns of air and create a land-spout tornado. Now, it's very difficult to see back here because we have a lot of wildfire smoke creating a haze, but let me show you really quick what I'm looking at right here. You can see just to the left is DIA, and then you can barely make out the definition in the clouds. That was one storm that formed just off the northeast edge of DIA and dissipated very quickly. But if you look just past that, you might be able to see a white column getting a little bit closer to the ground. That is the storm that is near Wiggins, just to the south west of Wiggins. That's the spot where we'll watch for those landspouts. And then just beyond that, out of frame where you can't quite see it, is that storm in Morgan County headed towards Fort Morgan. So there's a lot to watch out for, and I'll be out here watching it all here for the next few minutes. Guys, reporting from DIA, I'm meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen for the 9 News Weather Impact Team.
Thank you, Professor Reppenhagen.
Right.
He teaches us so much every time.
Learn
Thank
something
you.
new every time. Corey, thank you.
Those incoming storms that Corey was just talking about, well, they could strike twice in the same place. Hail tore through the small town of Wiggins in Morgan County last night, busting right through windshield, siding, even chicken coops. People described the sound overnight like someone throwing rocks at their houses. One couple we spoke to said dealing with this and a newborn isn't easy.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating. You know, we're trying to make things work right now this summer. We have a newborn, so just turning a month old here in a couple days, and so this is really the last thing we needed. But at the same time, we'll make do.
Plus, there's that sleep thing. That's a problem with the newborn.
Neither of them slept last night for sure.
Well, we could see more storms in the Morgan County area this evening.
As you see right here, 9 News Northern Colorado reporter Amanda Gilbert is live from Wiggins, where that video you just saw was from, with a look at what's happening now.
And right now, guys, it seems that the wind and the rain is just starting to pick up as I speak. I do want to show you, though, what this family has been dealing with today here in Wiggins. They've got this windshield that cracked on this car, and then they've got an SUV that has damage to the taillight, so we'll show you that right here. And then there's even a little bit of damage to the car next to this one, and it also looks like they're trying to cover up this Jeep in case of future weather. So a lot going on.
We're usually very good to miss it out here, but this time not so lucky.
Luck definitely was not on Terry Knievo's side Tuesday night.
I opened the front door and it was like golf ball size, just coming down crazy.
The hailstorm smashed 8 of her and her husband's windows.
The roof is damaged, has holes.
It damaged their home and their livelihood.
The corn, hopefully it will come back, but it, of course, right here we got hit really, really bad.
There's not much Terry can do in the field today except hope.
You can see that it's still up, but I mean, it was doing so nice. So hopefully it comes back.
All she can do is focus on her home and her yard,
I'll be picking up shards of glass for months, I'm sure.
where even the birds taking shelter suffered.
It just knocked them right out of the trees, and it was a sad death for all of them.
This long day of yard work isn't over.
It was golf ball size last night, and we heard possible baseball size tonight.
With potentially more storms on the way.
Scared.
While Terry's cleaning up, she's hoping for better luck tonight.
Cleaning up and preparing for round 2.
And Terry actually texted me. She said about 40% of their cornfield was damaged in last night's storm. The Morgan County Sheriff's Office did say no one was injured yesterday, but they do ask people to prepare for this evening. You might be able to see that the wind is definitely picking up here. Reporting live in Wiggins, Amanda Gilbert, 9 News.
Yeah, it's looking nasty again. We hope maybe this time it's just rain.
Hopefully.
Something.
Chris just showed us that on the radar. So
Yeah.
Be safe, Amanda. Thank you. And we, of course, will continue to follow this weather impact alert throughout the hour and throughout the evening. Stay with 9 News.
A man from Silverthorne was crushed by a boulder on a trail in Buena Vista this week. The Chaffee County Sheriff's Office says it happened yesterday near the Rapid 5.5 pullover. They say the man dislodged some rocks while walking back up the trail with his coworker, and a half-ton boulder fell on him. He didn't survive. His coworker suffered some minor injuries to his arms while he was trying to help.
A new state law is being tested in Arapahoe County, where prosecutors want to send a mentally ill shooting suspect to the state hospital. Austin Benson has been repeatedly found incompetent to stand trial.
And that means the criminal charges against him must be dismissed. Kevin Bond from 9 News Investigates was in court today, joins us from the Arapahoe County Courthouse. And Kevin, until recently, there was a loophole in the law that could have put him back on the streets.
Yeah, Kim, and we saw that play out in a number of cases that ended with tragic consequences. Now, prosecutors and judges have the ability to send someone they believe to be dangerous to the state hospital instead of simply releasing them. Austin Benson is no stranger to court. He was arrested in Douglas County in 2018, accused of randomly shooting at people along Rampart Range Road. The case languished for years because he was mentally incompetent. The judge dismissed the charges, and less than a year later, Benson was accused of shooting Aaron Johnson and Kimberly and Kenny Lottis in Aurora. The charges against him in this case will be dismissed as well. But today, prosecutors served notice they will seek to have Benson committed to the state hospital indefinitely. Assistant District Attorney Ryan Brackley would not discuss the case, but praised the new law aimed at people like Austin Benson.
Now at least we have an opportunity to request a trial to establish dangerousness for a person in this situation, so that we can seek a more secured facility under a civil commitment And again, that goes towards public safety.
The Arapahoe County District Attorney has 7 days to make that formal filing. The new law then requires that the judge schedule and hold that so-called dangerousness hearing within 91 days. There, prosecutors have the burden of proving by clear and convincing evidence that Austin Benson poses a substantial threat to other people. If the judge agrees with that assessment, Benson can be committed to the state hospital indefinitely. Reporting live in Arapahoe County, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
Kevin, I know you have been focused on Austin Benson for years now, but we know he's not the only one. There are a lot of other cases like this. That's why it's important to know the difference about this law.
Yeah, for the last few years, Colorado law often meant that these people simply had their cases dismissed and were sent back out on the streets. And we've seen deaths caused by people in these situations and other tragic cases, which is why this new law was brought up this year, passed by the legislature and signed by the governor.
Thank you. Kevin Vaughn reporting.